Separate Ways is easily the best Resident Evil DLC, at least in the RE engine era, if not longer. It adds a new dimension to already exciting gameplay with Ada's grapple mechanics, greatly fleshes out both Ada and Luisa's character arcs, builds in content from the original game that the base campaign had omitted in innovative ways, and is overall a superbly fun B-scenario campaign that always feels like fresh terrain and never a retread of old ground. Unlike the Mercenaries DLC, and the additional update adding Wesker and Ada as playable characters with the docks as a new map, Separate Ways was not free. The cost of $7.99 in the UK, $10 US, or €9.99 has been met with ire by some, who say it should have been free. But at 4 to 7 hours in a first playthrough, depending on the difficulty you choose, and with significant replay value including multiple achievements that demand additional runs, it's practically a full game in itself. Add to the fact that the original Separate Ways, for those who first bought RE4 on GameCube, cost the purchase of a whole new console in the form of a PS2 and repurchasing the full game, and by contrast, a tenner or less is quite the bargain. What you get for your money is a campaign that feels like a genuine and complete story in its own right. Ada's path is interwoven with Leon's as much as in the original, but there are differences here that reflect story and character motivation changes in the base game. Having the starting point be Ada rescuing Luis from the castle, in turn setting up the second Verdugo, U3, as a recurring threat, is an inspired move. As well as making for some great gameplay moments, including opening up the game with a boss fight, this also allows us to explore Ada's vulnerabilities and doubts, diving deeper into her character. In this, Luisa's improved character arc and redemption path from the base game in turn feeds into Ada's own journey, alongside which she, like Leon, is permanently affected by the events of Raccoon City. So we see Ada without the walls that she puts up around Leon. And here, both in the subtle facial tics and expressions, and in the shift from coldness around Leon to letting emotions slip through when he isn't around, Lily Gao, who did performance capture for Ada alongside voice, does a great job in bringing this version of Ada to life. The gameplay is much the same as in the base game. In combat, utilising close quarters attacks, parries, distance, and managing the space are all crucial, especially in the more hectic encounters against larger and more frantic groups or in the intense boss battles. This is enhanced by Ada's grapple mechanic, which both allows you to put some distance between you and the crowd by vaulting obstacles or taking the high ground, and provides the opportunity to melee strike from a greater distance and even, if you get the right charm, to disarm shield enemies. The fights are tougher than in the base game, relying on those who will buy the DLC being more attuned to the mechanics than those who will just play the main campaign once. This can lead to frustration if you go in unprepared, but broadly the balance feels right on both standard and hardcore, offering challenge rather than roadblocks. One criticism the base game received was in respect of cut content from the original. Separate Ways effectively fixes that, building in much of this content to its story in new ways that fit the remake's narrative. I can't say much more than that without spoilers, but suffice to say that this means some incredible boss fights, nail-bitingly tense moments, and ridiculously over-the-top set pieces as a result.
Well, that was excessive.
The story we get is also, quite clearly, laying some groundwork for future remakes. Again, I don't want to tread into spoilers here, so that may be a separate video, but while some fans are going to be understandably tired of remakes, it's in my view a positive to give more connective tissue between RE4 and other entries in the series. Overall, this version of Separate Ways improves upon the original in much the same manner as the base game does. We have updated gameplay, richer lore, deeper characterization, and huge amounts of replay value. Have you played through Separate Ways yet? Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. Like the video that just popped up, which YouTube thinks you should watch next. This is a Patreon and member supported channel, so if you want to become a member and unlock custom badges and emojis, early access to my videos, and your name in the credits, then click the join button below. Thanks very much for watching, and see you next time.